Fun. It is Self-Care Sunday, Self-Care Edition. How are you? And you, but especially you. Yes, you. How you doing tonight? Tell me about it. That is what I want to know. Let me get my other screen going here. Boom. There, we got that screen, and we got that screen, and I just got to hit this one thing over here. Boom. And we are good. Oops, big now. There, now I'm good. Hey, Lou, how are you? How are things in Iowa tonight? I hope all is well with you and that Iowa is treating you well and that you had a fabulous weekend. Fabulous weekend, I hope you did. Oops, I got to turn on my note taker. We're going from cold to spring here in the Northeast. It was like freezing on Saturday and Friday and Saturday, and now it's on a warming trend this week. Beautiful. Thank you for sending it our way because we're getting it. Each day is supposed to get a little better this week, is what I'm told. That is what I am told. Hey, Sherry, how are you? Great to have you here tonight. Great to have everybody here live tonight. So excited to be here with everyone. And let's get started with our opening quote tonight. Let me put on the glasses for that. Let's see what we got here. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? And when I am for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? There you go. Little deep, little reflective, a little reflective there for you on that. And that's actually, reflection is sort of, as we're self-care Sundaying it tonight, I actually wanted to talk about self-care a little bit. And I know we do this from time to time, but now's a really good time. It's technically spring, which is actually, I learned that this week is the most hated season. Spring is the most hated season. And, and I think it's all the swings of spring that make it the most hated, I think is what the overall thing is. They actually, for the article that I read, they actually interviewed marketing agencies to try to market spring. Like fall has pumpkin spice, winter has Christmas and peppermint lattes. Spring. You don't go into Starbucks and say, "Give me your floral coffee." I want a floral coffee with a side of storm. And so I don't know what makes it entirely the most hated. I actually like spring and fall are yin yang for my favorites because they're more moderate temperature wise. I don't like the extremes of summer or winter, but that's me. But I wanted to, working off the idea of self-care because as business owners and leaders of our companies, because we have a lot of managers that watch too, we take care of ourselves last. And we need to do more to take care of ourselves first. It's the old airplane adage, put your mask on first. You can't take care of anybody else until you put your oxygen mask on first. So when you do put your oxygen mask on, you're able to care for others. And that's that whole theory. But part of it is in your world, you need to plan a recharge. This has been a rough winter in most parts of the country. Actually, pretty much everywhere had something. Florida had some extreme cold and storms. Lots of places had an extreme, rougher winter than we've had in about a decade. For anybody that's been in the area they're in most places that I've talked to, it's sort of about a 10-year time since people have had a winter this hard. And that's, we're going to have these. We're going to have these. But that makes it harder in business. You have huge swings in weeks. I was on with one store owner earlier today because I was at my desk for a good part of today. And they had an awful February, but they had a good January, and they're having a March. And sales wise, I always talk about the quarter. I never talk about the day. I never worry about the week. I'm worried about how the quarter finishes out, because it sort of levels things out. And in that store owner's case, they're gonna level out the winter, and come out okay. They're gonna come out with a good first quarter of the year. But that doesn't mean it's not trying on you. That doesn't mean it doesn't take some wear and tear on you. And you have to plan recharge. You have to plan time to take care of you. Planning to take care of you starts with something just as simple as a day off. Okay, and really a day off, a day where you're not answering your phone all day, a day where you're not sitting at the computer, where you're not sitting doing, I got paperwork here, paperwork, okay, or book work, or planning your next marketing, an actual day off, okay, where you're disconnected. The world will continue. Your store will continue. It will not burn up just because you take a day off. And that's a great starting point. 2 days off is a bonus. But then it's talking about actually planning time away from your business. And time away from your business is not a buying trip, because a lot of you like to go, and whether you go to Chicago and do jewelry buying, or you go to the Atlanta market, or one of the others, that is not time off. It is different than being in your store, but it is still working on your business. The new thing the kids are doing these days is it is difficult. Okay, if it was easy, everybody would do it. But if you don't do it, Sherry, you burn out. The new thing that the younger generation, I use quotes because other generations are doing, is instead of a staycation, they're doing a sleepcation, where they're actually going to a hotel like 30 minutes away, and they're doing nothing but sleep and ordering room service. Okay, they're not bringing their laptop with them. They're not turning on their phone. It's a sleepcation. Okay, because they're working so many hours, much like a store owner. They're doing the corporate rat race most often. Okay, but a sleepcation where you actually plan to go away. I mean, sometimes Cassandra and I will just go away and we'll get a room there, where we're located in Connecticut. We'll go grab a night, an overnight or two at the casino. Because we can go there and we can use their spa and their pool, and just decompress, and they have some really nice restaurants, and so we can go do that as an example of a short getaway. It doesn't have to be far. It doesn't have to be far, but it does have to happen, and you have to do these things periodically. Once every 4 months, doing these short bursts, because you work with such intensity. You work with such intensity. That's what it takes to be an entrepreneur. That's what it takes. That is how you're wired. Okay, you're wired to work. I mean, that's how I can watch a Disney movie and come up with a whole presentation for you guys. Okay, it is how we are wired. Okay, is our mind is always thinking, evolving, how can I do something with that idea? And that is awesome. But you got to give yourself time to sit back, read a dumb beach novel. This isn't it, but this is a deep book that I'm reading right now. But it was the one that was handy. Okay, but read a dumb beach read. Okay, because it allows you to decompress. At the end of the day, a lot of time, Cassandra will pick at me sometimes because I won't want to watch one of the drama shows she got into. And it's because I've dealt with so much real stuff during the day I need to just decompress and turn off. And by decompressing and turning off, I just need to have something dumb and stupid to turn on TV and be mindless about. But planning a vacation, planning a time away, even if it is further out. So like the store owner that had this that I worked one-on-one with today, has a upcoming trip, and it's end of April, beginning of May. Okay, to Mexico. Okay, and I've known about this for a while. They've had it on the calendar for a while, and honestly, that's part of what got them through the seesaw and awfulness of the winter. Is I'm going to Mexico. I'm working this hard, and I'm going to Mexico. They're going first class. They're at a resort. They're going to Mexico, and that's what's on their list. We have trips planned later this year. We're going to Texas. We're going to we have Ryland's wedding next January that we're looking forward to. That's already on the calendar. We're planning these things. When you plan ahead, okay, when you actually have something on the calendar, spontaneous trips are awesome. Spontaneous trips are awesome where you just say, I need to get away this weekend. I need to turn everything off. See ya. Okay, they are awesome. Don't get me wrong, because they really are. They're really awesome. But even better is a planned trip. It makes the trip better. It makes the anticipation, the mental, what it does to your brain, okay, where it sends all the good vibes to your brain by planning a trip like that, okay, really is something special. Really is something special. And there's actually statistics on it that a planned trip to the same place, let's use the Mexico example, a planned trip to Mexico, okay, the anticipation of it, okay, even if, let's say I did all the same things they did, they planned this for months, okay, and I got their itinerary and I said, come on, Cassandra, let's go. We're going to Mexico. Got our passport. Actually have our passports right here. Got our passports. Let's go. We're going. Let's go to Mexico. And I got this great itinerary from a store owner today. Let's go. This is everything they're doing. And we did all the exact same things. We would not have as good a time. Exact same things, exact same plans, even exactly the same time. Let's say we went at the exact same time of year, so the weather was the same. Everything was the same. Same week, same everything, same waiter. We would not have as good a time because we did not build up how great this trip was going to be in our head. We did not build up how great this was going to be in our head. And that can be with everything. That can be 3 weeks from now, you're going to have a sleepcation in the next town, or you're going to go an hour away. You're going to drive an hour away, and you're going to stay at a hotel and eat at a nice restaurant and do nothing. Okay, go to the spa, take a bath, do whatever. Just planning that and having it on the calendar does more good for you. Okay, makes you feel better and have a better time than doing it saying, you know what, everything at the store is covered this weekend. I'm out of here. Okay, it's Friday. I can't believe that everything's covered. We're out of here. So just having that kind of forethought and having it on the calendar for a few weeks ahead of time will do your body more good. So I want you to be thinking now about your summer vacation. Whether you're a beach person or you want to go to the mountains. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to be expensive. Or you're like us and Disney people and you go to Disney. It does not matter. But put it on the calendar. Put it on the calendar. Having those moments on the calendar makes everything better. It makes you stronger. It makes you better. It makes you better prepared to take care of everything else because it frees your mind. It lifts you up. It lifts you up when you do that. And so planning that and doing that is so important for your well-being and the well-being of your business and the well-being of your family. So if you are serious about taking care of your business, serious about taking care of yourself, do this. That's your homework this week. Okay? If you don't have any time off on the calendar, get it on the calendar. Get it on the calendar. That is your homework this week. Okay? Go surfing a site. Throw a dart at the map. Open up the Hilton or Marriott app and see what hotels are near you. You'd be amazed at what's right there and like their discount days and everything else. I was in a hotel today and I was surprised. I'm like, isn't it early for prom? They were having a prom. And, whatever. I mean, there are these moments, but go and do that. Disconnect. And really, and it's very hard. The hard thing is with these devices is actually turning it off. Turning it off or ignoring it. Okay, I love that Rose is going on a road trip soon. Okay, turning it off or ignoring your phone. Okay, there's very little that needs you right now. There's very little that needs you right now. Okay, you are just not that important. I love y'all, but you're just not that important. I'm not that important. Okay, and there was a time where I'm going to age myself here. There was a time where I had 2 phones on me and 2 beepers. Okay, I had a time where you looked so important. Okay, don't wear busy as a badge of honor. Okay, having these moments, you will never regret having these moments with your family or time to yourself. You will never regret them. You will never regret them, and your business will benefit from you being away. Your business will benefit from you being away. How many times, when you finally do take a day off, you come back and you're like, oh my God, they had their busiest day and I wasn't even here. I mean, how often do you say that? So that is my challenge to you tonight. That is my challenge to you this week. Get some dates on the calendar and don't have something business attached to it, because that's the thing. We think, well, if I go on this buying trip to Atlanta and I add 2 days to the trip, it's like a vacation. That's not a vacation. That's not a vacation. When I was on my business trip to the Bahamas, it was not a vacation. It was nice to have a day, part of a day there, okay? And everything's better with a palm tree, don't get me wrong, but I was there for business. So get out the calendar, make it happen. You can do this. You can do this. You know what else you can do? This video and everything I talk about goes over to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, ring the bell, ring it so you can share it with so you know when another one drops and you can share it with everybody you know in business. I am here every Sunday and Wednesday at More 8 Than Ish, Sunday and Wednesday at More 8 Than Ish. But if you have a question in between, just DM me. I'm easy to find. I'm the easiest guy to find out there. Happy to talk to you. We start the program every night with an opening quote. Our opening quote tonight was, "If not for myself, who will be for me? And when I am for myself, what am I? And if not now, when?" Was that true for tonight? Our closing quote tonight, I love it. "I want to try the impossible to show it can be done." I want to try the impossible to show it can be done. You can do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a staycation, a sleepcation, a getaway, a trip to Mexico. Love it all. Get it on the calendar. But until then, and until Wednesday at More 8 Than Ish, know that you, but most importantly you, yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you, yes, you, on Wednesday.